He is a Johannesburg-born and bred music producer and DJ who has been mentored by the legendary Sipho Hot Sticks Mabuse. Well, I'm talking about our first music guest this morning, Itumeleng Beats Montsho, who has recently dropped a brand new project called Amapiano Wethu. Etu Beats is also a music scholar and has been striving to make a name for himself on the South African music scene. He joins us now via Zoom to tell us more about his journey. A very good morning to you, Etu. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, thank you, and morning to the viewers.
It's so good to have you on the show this morning. Tell us about how you crossed paths with the legendary Sipho Hot Sticks Mabuse, who introduced and exposed you to music.
Well, that's when I was in school still. I had just finished matric and I had a gap year where I didn't go to tertiary.
Okay.
So I decided to join FUBA to study music a bit. And his nephew was a friend of mine and introduced me. And then Brasipo allowed us to work, myself and two of my friends, to work in his recording studio. And that's where we got to learn how to produce music and make music and do studio work, basically.
And take us through how your musical journey has been like since then to what it is now.
It was very good in the beginning. The challenge there is I was still a bit young and didn't really understand the business properly. But we did achieve a lot of, milestones then. We did some music for a popular soft drink brand. We produced music that was used by famous people like DJ Tira, worked with Prare Piri. Yeah, so it was very good in those days. It's just that, as I say, because I was young, I didn't understand the business properly, but some milestones were definitely achieved during that stage.
When you say that you faced challenges because you did not understand the music properly, now just moving forward, what are some of the lessons that you've learned since you got full force into this music industry?
Well, I've learned to understand contracts better. I've learned to understand, how master owning your masters and specific business related things. There's no scenario where I'm saying someone cheated me out of money or things like that. There was never anything like that.
Okay.
It's just a case of not knowing where to maximize the music. I didn't understand that I could make music for TV programs, which is what I'm getting into now. So it was just a matter of not understanding where to use my music and maximize it. Not that anyone ripped me off or anything like that. That has never happened to me.
And what was it about house music that appealed to you so much? I mean, you could have chosen jazz music, considering that you were mentored by a jazz artist.
Yes, well, I do have a few jazz songs, but electronic music becomes easier to produce by yourself. If you at home by yourself,
Right.
You have a computer, a keyboard here. And it was also easier to go out and introduce myself to people because I didn't need to go with a band or anything like that. So
Okay.
I'll just go by myself and DJ. Then I'll be able to showcase my music that way. I was young as well, so it was a young crowd. It was easier to break the music that way.
Okay.
But I do have a few jazz pieces, a few Afro soul pieces as well in my catalog, but most of it is dance music.
Okay. And the name Etu Beats, how did it come about? And what does it say about the type of artist that you are?
Well, it communicates that I'm a producer. I deliberately misspelled it, so to speak, with an E so that it's stylized and it stands out. And it immediately lets people know that I'm a producer because producing and composing is referred to contemporarily as beat making. So if you say Etu Beats, it communicates that I make beats.
Okay.
So it's easier for other people to understand exactly what you do. And it's assisted me to be able to work with others because some people would approach me and say, can you make a song for me or can we do a song together? Then I'd be able to assist them in that space. Yeah.
Now, Etu Beats, let's talk about your new project, Amapiano Wethu. What is that all about?
This is introducing myself into the Amapiano space. It's the most, popular dance genre at the moment. And since I produce dance music, I saw it to be lucrative because I'm working on an Amapiano album. So I decided to put out an EP to introduce people that have been following my music and let them know that I'm now moving into this space. I want to explore this genre. So I'll have an album that's going to be coming out in September. And then this is an introduction to let people know the direction I'm moving in.
And take us through the process of making this project and who you worked with on this project.
On this specific one, I've worked with a gentleman by the name of Movie M, who's based in Pretoria. He's a jazz artist, ironically, but agreed to sing on an Amapiano beat. I've got Munewa, I've got Toshi as well. I'm also working with a dance duo. They are called Lockenville. They don't ordinarily are in the space. They are more electro, but I'm also doing an Amapiano song with them as well.
Okay. And as someone who was mentored by some of the big names in the industry, just how important was this in terms of growing your own craft?
Well, they educated me to a lot. I mean, as I say, I was young, I was eager, I wanted everything to happen quickly, but they taught me how the business works. With Brasipo in particular, how a studio works, the process of working in a studio. I got to learn that. Then they taught me the business to be able to build slowly and be patient until you connect. So that's the advice that helped me.
What else are you working on, Etu Beats?
Well, as I said, the only outside project currently that I'm working on is the Lockenville, the duo Lockenville. And I'm also just working on the album and making some music. Once I finish the album, I'll be doing a lot of music for TV productions and, some film. That's what I want to really get into. So that's the space that I'll be getting into from around August, September, yes.
So as a music producer, are you also working towards getting into more collaborations with other artists, or you simply want to focus on your own music and craft?
Yes, well, mostly by default, because I can't sing, I have to collaborate with others who can. That's why I had to work with people like Toshi, like Munewa, and guys like that. So where others have been interested, like the video you played is a Canadian artist who heard my music because our music is online. Some people overseas hear it, and she asked that I make something for her, and we collaborated on that, and I released it under my name on my side, and she released it under her name on her side. So I'm doing a lot of overseas collaborations mostly, and also a few local ones. I want to work more as well with the local artists as and when especially now that I'm doing Amapiano.
Okay, so how are you reachable?
On my social media, you can go. I'm most active on Facebook, so you can just search for Etu Beats spelled with an E. You can get me on Twitter. I'm even on email, etubeats@gmail.com. So on social media, if you put my name in, you'll see me there. On all the music streaming platforms, if you just search my name, you'll find my music catalog and get to hear the type of music that I produce as well.
All right, great stuff, man. And Etu Beats, great chatting you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Great stuff. That was our first music guest for this morning, who goes by the stage name Etu Beats, and we've been speaking to him about his journey on the South African music scene.